Hey guys, this is TJ with F&P Wargaming, and if you want to know how to do this base right here that I use for my Obsidian Knights, watch the video. I'll show you step by step on how to do it. Hope you guys like it. Here it comes. So for the basing of my librarian right here, I'm using a 32mm base. I've got this stuff that I got from Gale Force 9. It's pretty cool. I use it for my rocks. They already break off some plaster, so it's really good. I use that for my bigger rocks. And since I'm upgrading them from the 25mm base that comes in the standard pack, I'm gonna need some rocks, and I already picked out some rocks here that are about some little strips of slate that are about the right height for him to stand on. So I've already picked those out of that one. And then on top of that, I've got some other Gale Force 9 stuff. This stuff is pretty cool. It's small. It makes very good for little rocks and everything. And then for my other parts of the base, I use some stuff I got from Hobby Lobby. You'll see it in those big old packs. They use it. It's kind of the medium grain texture. It's not really the fine. Maybe it's the small. But I usually use this, and I use this for when I do rocks and stuff like that. And since this guy is going to be for my Obsidian Knights, I'm going to be using that to mimic my other bases that I've been doing for the past 17 years or so. So, and I like to use wood glue when I use the rocks and stuff, and I glue them to the bases. So I'm going to get started, and I'll show you how to get all this stuff set up and how we're going to base everything. So to actually put on the stuff, just like John does, use kind of an old brush here. Use an old Citadel small dry brush. I think I've had this brush for about 10 years, and as you can tell, it is pretty frayed up. It is pretty nasty. Not that great anymore. That's exactly why I use it to do bases. So I usually just start out by putting a little bit of glue here on it, kind of in the middle. It's good enough right there. Got my dry brush. Cover the whole base. Like that. Down that all, just like I was doing before. Kind of smash it all in there so I can get all the texture on there and everything like that. Sometimes I'll sprinkle some missing spots. And like I said earlier, I'll just get my finger and I will rub around the edges here. Trying to get most of it off. Sprinkle the rest of it in there. And that's kind of good. So now what I'm going to do is, after I let this do, I'm going to go ahead and put it off here to the side. Now I usually like to wait about an hour before I do anything with the glue and everything, and I wait for the base to dry. I am doing multiple bases at the same time, so I got actually 2 projects I'm working on. Yes, paper. That is that. Okay, now that that's dried, you can see I've kind of test fitted it right here. The librarian's probably about at the proper angle he needs to be at. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is, I've kind of got it marked where I want. I'm just going to grab some super glue. Find kind of the best stuff to use when it comes to working on bases and making sure stuff sticks. So kind of get it out here, and what I will do is I will put a lot of super glue on where I want it actually to hold. That's about where I want it. Just like that. Super glue's on there. Do another quick test fit of them right here. Just like that, it's about where I want it. I can also reposition them in all kinds of different directions. So no matter what, he does have now a rock to stand on. That is super glued. And so I will let that dry, but the next thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to add some of these little bits and pieces here. I kind of like to throw in some of these because they will make it actually look like bigger rocks around, so it kind of looks like a bigger rock debris right here. So I will go ahead and get some more glue out, and never have too much, so not a big deal. Just like that. Use them on there. Sprinkle them around. Just like that. Maybe put another one over here. Right there. And lay it on top of it. Really starts kind of looking like a rock formation there. Move that up just a hair more. After that, you know, super glue does take a little while to dry. So I will go ahead and let that super glue dry. And after that, I will prime it all. So I'll let everything dry. Usually I'll let the super glue dry for about an hour or two. Then I'll go out and prime all these bases and everything like that. We'll come back in and I will show you how to actually do the painting of it. Before I go prime, I just wanted to show you both of the bases I'm working on. So one right here is for my librarian. Kind of see how he's all set up. And the other one is actually, I'm working on a tech marine right now. So I just wanted to put some more on the base just since they are centralized figures. Usually on my standard bases, what I'll do is I'll just do the gravel, and that's kind of it for, you know, my normal Space Marines and Devastator squads or anything like that. So I will get them primed and we'll come back with, and I'll show you how to base it. Hey guys, so I got the bases all primed up here. Here you go if you want to take some look at them. Really good, nice coat of primer on there. Got two of them done. This is the main one I'll be using for my librarian, and that's what I'll be using for my tech marine. So first color we're going to start off with is the Fang. So I will be doing the whole entire base with the Fang. Let's go and get started. So guys, just like that, get started with the Fang. Nice good heavy coat on the whole thing. Using an old base brush I kind of have worn out. So just like that, I'll be going over the entire base in the Fang, and I'll get back to you as soon as that whole base coat is done. So I got my first coat down here, and you can kind of tell that, you know, base color is really not covering everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by putting a second coat of the Fang on, and as soon as I get done, we'll move on to the next color. Okay guys, so I got a good coat on here on the Fang. At least I'm pronouncing that one correctly. Now I'm going to move on to the next color. It's going to be Dawnstone. And so what we're going to do is it's going to be a pretty heavy dry brush. So I'm still going to use my same brush right here, the base brush, and we'll get started on that right now. Okay guys, so I'm going to get some paint on my brush. I'm going to use my paint palette right here to kind of wipe some of it off. But I want a lot of it on there, but not too much. And we're just going to start it just by going over it just like that. Probably going to do about 2 coats of this. So after I get done with that second coat, well, after I get done with this first coat, I'll kind of show you what it looks like. The rocks are going to be a little bit different, just like that. I'm just trying to get a lot of it off. The rocks I'm going to kind of go heavy on, because what you'll see is when I start moving up to the lighter colors, it'll be a little less on the rocks, and I'll really start picking up some detail on them. So I will get back to you as soon as I get done with that. So guys, you can tell the first layer of Dawnstone here is done. I'm going to go ahead and get another layer on there, same kind of dry brushing technique, and then we'll come back after the second layer gets put on there. Well, here we go guys. Next color we're going to be using is Administratum Gray. I think I got that one right. But so I've got on my dry brush now. I want to do a really light dry brush of this one. So like with a good dry brush, you know, we've all seen the videos, we've all kind of seen how to do it. So just want a little bit on there. And you're just going to kind of go over it. You're just going to keep on basically going over it with your dry brush. So I just want to, I'm going to go a little longer in the painting on this one. I want to kind of get the basic, the outside smaller rocks done, and then kind of give y'all a brief overview of what I do on the other rocks. So as you can see here, you really want to get the good dry brush, and what you want to do is you want to go on the edges, just on the edges, because you kind of want to work your way inside to each. You want to kind of leave the middle the other colors you've been working on. So just like that, you're just going to try to get those edges with your dry brush. So dry brush, if you wipe out the paint good enough, that's all you should be actually getting are those edges. And the last color that I'll be doing after I get all this done, I'll be using the old color Skull White. I forgot what the new name is, but as soon as I pull it out, we'll go over that. But just like that, I'm just getting a really light layer on there. Just like that. That's kind of the finished product that I really want to do. So as soon as I get the other base done, we'll get started on the next color. Okay guys, kind of on to the last one here. Kind of see that base. See, you're kind of getting a nice good texture here around the edges and everything. So now we're going to move on is the last color is White Scar. Now with White Scar, I'm going to shake it up really well. Mine's really kind of watered down and everything. So just kind of the way I paint. I kind of water down my paints a lot in the pots. But I'm actually since I've done the administrative grain, I have not actually cleaned my brush. And when I actually dry brush, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use the same area I was using over there. So over here, this is just real simple, easy, nice, just stroking it over there, getting a nice, good job on the white. I'll do that on both sides real quick here. Kind of see it's just picking up those edges. Now here's what I wanted to show you guys, is definitely on the rocks. So I'm gonna get a little more on there. But just like that, same thing, just getting the edges, kind of pulling in like that. You kind of want to make it look like rock. And then on this edge, just a nice big overview, not too much on there. Same thing here, and on these rocks, same thing. Just trying to get those edges. And just like that, that's how I've pretty much been doing my bases for about 17 years. We're gonna go ahead and, after this, I get this done, we're gonna go ahead and go to the edges. And I'll show you how I do the edges. I do them a little old school, but that's all right. So guys, bases are pretty much done with the rock. It's got a nice little highlight, looks like rock, which is awesome. So, do it first, I'm gonna do a base coat on the outside edges of Caliban green. Next, I'm gonna be using Warp Stone Glow. And last is War Boss Green. Now, the first time I ever opened up a Space Marine Codex was a very long time ago, and that's how they did the edges of the bases. So when I started this Obsidian Knights army 17 plus years ago, I've done the bases like this, and since I've been doing it that way, not gonna stop doing it. So just like that, I'm gonna get a nice good base coat of here, 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 and Goblin Green. So what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll show steps just kind of in between on what the finished product look like, just between each step. So guys, I got the first Caliban greens all down. Kind of telling all the edges right here. It's completely on. A little overlap. It's not really going to matter too much. Once I add all the static grass and put the bottle on there, it's going to look pretty cool. So after I get done with Warp Stone Glow right here, I'll show you what happens after that. Usually, and on the Caliban green, usually on the black primer, it usually takes about 2 good coats to get it just to where it actually is Caliban green. A little heads up for you. And just like that, guys, Warp Stone Glow's on. Kind of look at it. And we're going to move on to War Boss Green, or good old Goblin Green. Hey guys, and just like that, War Boss Green is put on. As you can tell, it's on the whole edge. Really blends it in. You know, old school way of doing bases. Last thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get out the static grass. We're gonna put some static grass on it. And for that, I like to use super glue. Got a pair of tweezers right here. And let me get out the static grass. And then we're gonna add those little patches of static grass and the bases will be all finished. So guys, I got my static grass out and I'm just gonna kind of show you. So model's gonna set about here, back foot's gonna be there. So a good place to put some static grass is gonna be right in here, in between here. And then probably some on this outside edge to give it a little bit of a highlight and give it a little more texture on the base, so it'll kind of blend in like he is standing on rocks with grass growing out of it and everything like that. So, just like I said, bust out the old super glue. Like I said, I'm gonna put a little bit here, a little bit back there, right in between there, some around here. You just kind of draw on where it's actually gonna go. And the more you put, the more coarse grass will grab on. And then I want to kind of a little bit in there. Now what I like to do, some people might not like it, but grab a set of tweezers and just kind of drop it all on there. Now I'm doing it over here so I can save some of the static grass, because guess what, I'm not going to use it all. Just like that, putting more and more on it. And smashing it down a little bit. Then I'll grab it, I'll flip it over, I'll kind of flick it. The flicking really kind of gets all the extraneous stuff off. Just like that. And pretty much got it all, and just like that, sorry about that, just like that you can kind of see that it's got a lot of static grass on it. I kind of put the model on there and you can kind of see that just like that, he's on there. Kind of the grasses right here. You got some in the back. It turned out just kind of the way I wanted. I'm gonna go and do the other base, and then I'll kind of put them both together and we can kind of take a look at them. And guys, just like that, both bases are done. Static grasses on them. That's a Tech Marine base. He's kind of a big character, so I really didn't put much in the middle. Librarian base. Rocks are all nicely covered up. Everything is done. That's how I've been doing my bases for 17 years now for my Obsidian Knights. Glad you guys liked, hope y'all guys liked the video. Just like anything, got any questions, comments, go ahead and put them in that comment field. I'll try to answer anything. Other than that, man, I really appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel. Check us out on Facebook. If you want to see some of my painting and stuff, look at FMP Wargamers on Facebook, and I always link from my own Knights 112 page there, as well as if you want, you can follow me on Instagram and also follow FMP Wargamers on Instagram too as well. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it once again. Hope to see y'all soon with another basing video.